Hello everyone, good morning. Let me introduce myself. My name is Yumna from the Indonesian Language and Literature Education Study Program. And in this video, I will explain about law enforcement in Indonesia for the final assignment for citizenship course. One of the indicators of a legal state is success in its law enforcement. Law enforcement can be successful if the laws that have been regulated should and have been obeyed by all the elements of the society. The occurrence of disruption to law enforcement can be caused by the inconsistency between the values, rules, and patterns of behavior. The incompatibility between the values, rules, and patterns of behavior that will not be directed can disturb the peace of life. Then, the enforcement of the law becomes unrealizable. The main problem of the law enforcement is the factor that influence it. These factors are: the first is the law factor, the second is law enforcement factor, the third is facilities factor, and the fourth factor is community factor. The first factor is the law itself. The law is meant a written regulation that has been made by the government. This factor can start from the vagueness of the word that used, so that it is difficult to interpret it. And then the second factor. The second factor is the law enforcement factor. Law enforcement is the part who involve the law enforcement process. For example, police, judges, advocates, and others. Law enforcement has their own authority, but in reality, law enforcement is not running properly caused by the low quality of human resources, doesn't apply the right man on the right place, low commitment, strong influence of power, and poor coordination. And the third factor is facilities factor. Without the support of a good facilities, law enforcement will not work well. The facilities include human resources who have higher education and skill, good organization structure, sufficient equipment and finance, and in this case, the problem that often occurs is in the process of acceptance into law enforcement is often treated by bribery. So the quality of human resources need to be questioned. And the last factor is the society factor. Indonesia is a country that has a society with many different cultures. Therefore, law enforcement must understand of the state of society so as to make it easier for law enforcement to identify the values and norms that apply in the environment. If there are any group of people who don't understand about the law enforcement can provide law knowledge to the community. In the enforcement process, these four factors will influence each other. If there is a weakness in one part, it will have an impact on other factors. That's all I can say. If there is any mistake, I'm sorry. Thank you for your attention.